Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters Game Day podcast on SportsZone Chicago. It should be called the Basement Monsters. I'm hungover right now. Pushing through as I've been all morning long to talk football with you guys. And of course, Luke. Luke, brother, what's up? What's going on? Good morning.
I'm not hungover this morning, so it feels pretty good.
That's a change.
All right.
That's a change. Like I said, I just got a little headache. We were doing a little drinking last night. But God, it's with the baby running around and the dogs are barking, I'm just like, turn it down. Just turn it down. Get the light away from me right now. But I'm ready to go. It's a good slate of football today and really all weekend.
Yeah.
For the NFL. And man, I'm excited. I'm excited for all these. Honestly, really, I'm excited for pretty much every single game this weekend. Starting with the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts, and you're thinking that this game might be very entertaining. You're thinking it might be probably the most entertaining game of the day today. Why?
Well, obviously we know how Buffalo's been playing. Buffalo's been on a tear lately, so they're I think they're going to be riding high. But I think Indianapolis. I mean, they still have like the eighth. I don't know. I think they have the fourth best defense in the league right now. And I still believe in that Indianapolis defense. I also believe in Jonathan Taylor. Michael Pittman started showing up late in the season and starting to just beast.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the old pro, old man Rivers. I don't know. I just have a feeling today that game's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. So, the Rams and the Seahawks, later after that game. I don't know. I kind of smell a blowout there, and I kind of smell a blowout against the number one defense in the league. And then obviously Tampa Bay, you can see where I'm going with that. But I think this first game is going to be the best game of the day, to tell you the truth.
Well, hold on 1 second because I got an issue here. Just bring this cord around. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think it's going to be entertaining. As far as whether the day will tell. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
It'll be the best game of the day. Who knows? I mean, we got the second game of the day is obviously Rams Seahawks, and of course you got your Bucks at the end. But sticking with the Colts, I feel like the Colts Bills. I feel like the Colts have a shot at upsetting the Buffalo Bills. 2 reasons. One, they have a hell of a good offensive line, and 2, they have they just keep finding running backs. They have a plethora of running backs in the backfield that are able to do the job. You know what I'm saying? They're able to do the job between the tackles. They're able to do the job out in the flats and in the pass game. It's going to be up to them. It's going to be up to the offensive line for the Indianapolis Colts and that run game to really take care of Phillip Rivers, because Phillip Rivers we've seen it throughout the season and we know it. He's old. Big Ben got old real quick.
Yeah.
That ability is shot. So you can only imagine what Phillip Rivers' agility and mobility in the pocket and to be able to dissect this or able to defeat the stress of the situation by getting himself out of the pocket and taking himself out of it. I think that if the Colts want to win, it's going to have to be a heavy dose of Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm. I think they also need to anybody but Stephon Diggs. You know what I mean? Like take away the top prize. I know teams have been trying to do that all year, but I feel like if they double Stephon, that they don't really have. I mean, I know you got McKenzie over there, you still got Beasley, but I just don't know that they push the ball as far down the field by throwing it to another receiver. If you could take away Diggs, I think that leaves Buffalo kind of in a pickle there, because we know their run game isn't very sufficient. So I mean, it would have to be McKenzie or Beasley, and I just don't see them, like I said, just take away Diggs, and I think Indianapolis will put themselves in a really good situation to win this game. It's just going to be, containing Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, that, as we've seen all season, it's no easy task.
I understand taking away Diggs and letting everybody else try to beat you, but you got some. I mean, you're able to you use Diggs as a big play guy pretty much, and he's able to. I mean, he's a great receiver. Don't get me wrong; he's a playmaker, but it's honestly, it's been the unsung heroes. You got a Cole Beasley, able to run. You got a slot guy that's able to stretch the field at any moment. You know what I'm saying? You have a running back that's able to. I mean, he's now kind of doing a decent job. I think Buffalo needs a big back to run in between those tackles. Like I said, they're okay because the real threat is the pass, and they're able to threaten the line of scrimmage anyway with Josh Allen once he gets rolling out left to right, or if he has to escape. If he has to escape the pocket, Josh Allen can do that and then run out of it. So there's that threat. So they're able to. What they're doing is an all hands on deck type of approach to running the football, which is working for them because they're still able to go ahead and pass, pass all over the place and use Stephon Diggs. But I understand that. But I think if you take away Diggs, I mean, they'll just wait. They'll sit there and wait. I feel like the Buffalo Bills, and they'll use everybody else and wait for the playmaker to make a big play in open space. You just got to put the ball in Stephon Diggs' hands. He can make a play.
Yep. I'm
not saying he's overly physical, but if you give it to him in space, he'll make a play on your ass and he'll leave you.
Oh yeah, no, he's up there, man. I mean, he's perfect situation for him. Walking with a great quarterback, somebody that's mobile, somebody that can get on the run, somebody that can throw on the run accurately. He's about as good as it gets in the league right now, to tell you the truth, to go by stats. But the Buffalo's defense is going to have to show up. I mean, they're going to have to show up. That's just what it's going to have to be. Because if you start letting Hines and Taylor start getting loose, and then they start play actioning on that, man, that could get real serious for them. Go ahead.
They need to what you were talking about. We were talking about that Colts game again. The Bears versus the Colts, right? Generate pressure up the middle to flush Rivers left to right.
Right.
Get him trying to throw on the run, which, like I said, it's not young. Getting him to go left and right with a man coming right at him. I mean, that could be the difference in your coverage. You know what I'm saying? That could be the difference. That could be the coverage for you. You know what I'm saying? It was a pretty much a coverage breakup. Or a blitz breakup. That was pretty much it. The blitz broke up the play downfield. So I feel like if you could do that for Buffalo, or even if you could generate with your front, that's even better.
Right.
If you could start sending guys, and I trust that front. I really do. I trust the front enough to hold their own. But as far as getting to Phillip Rivers and really causing havoc. Not so much. I feel like they're solid, just not. They're not overly, overpowering the line. So I just feel.
There it goes.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So did you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So no, I said if you could do that, you could run into an interception by Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the other thing that's going to be with this game is it's going to have to be tight ends. I feel like Dawson Knox and Croft on Buffalo are going to have to be heavily involved. And then, obviously Mo Alley Cox and your boy, I won't say his name. I think his number is 83 or something like that.
Number 80.
Number 80. There you go.
Number 80. Number 80 in your programs. Dead last wherever you want. Dead last in your heart. That's what I would say.
Right.
Dead last in your heart.
I think they're gonna have to be involved heavy today. Mo Alley Cox on Indianapolis, and then your boy number 80. But it's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's no matter who you are on in this game, like pressure is the key. Obviously, I feel like Allen deals with that pressure a little bit better than Phillip does, but that's just because Josh is younger, more mobile. But like I said, man, I have a feeling that this is going to be the most entertaining game of the day.
All right, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be a good one. Bills Colts, check it out. Next game on the docket, Rams versus Seahawks. This is going to be a good one as well. NFC West battle. I believe they just met up a few weeks ago, maybe.
That was.
I'm wrong. Was it?
I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something.
I'll see it. December 27th was the last meeting. Seahawks 20-9 over the Rams. The Rams is Goff going to play? Let me check the inactives for the Rams. But Jared Goff had the injury to his thumb, and I think he broke it or he might have strained some tendon. I'm not really sure exactly what he did. They have Goff as questionable. I'm sure he's going to play. That's going to be the key for the Rams. If you could have your quarterback, your guy lead you down the field. Because I feel like if you don't have him, the Seahawks are just too smart, coaching-wise. They're just too smart to let a backup quarterback beat him. You know what I mean? Like, they're too smart for that. You need a guy that's been in there and knows the system, that's been to a fucking Super Bowl for, you know what I mean? Like, Goff has been to a Super Bowl. He's played in the Super Bowl. You want him in. You want him running the show. You want, the marriage between him and Sean McVay. Present. You want it present because that's the only way I feel like they beat the Seattle Seahawks. You have too much experience with Russell Wilson. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You know what I mean? Two Super Bowls. So you have too much experience with Russell Wilson. You have too much of a playmaking of a deep threat. With both DK Metcalf and what's the other guy's name?
Tyler Lockett.
Thank you, Tyler Lockett. That's the one I was trying. That's the guy I was trying to think about. Tyler Lockett. They could both fly, and we know DK's physical. So you're going to have to put up some points. Like either way, you can't do what you did with Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to play that game and control the clock. I could understand maybe being a little conservative, but you want to do that with Goff because you always want to have the possibility of going deep or the possibility of taking a shot like that middle to deep range.
Yeah, I mean the other good thing for the Rams is Akers is going to play again today too, so that gives them two backs instead of just the one that they were down to there for a minute. I feel like those guys are going to have to dictate. I mean, they're going to have to just plug. I mean, they're going to have to just go. Like if they're going to have to run. In order just to Seattle's defense at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, we're like, I don't know. And then towards the end of the year, they actually started coming up with some big plays. So I think the first thing that the Rams need to establish is that run game, and then that's going to help them in the pass game. I feel like the Rams defense better buckle down. They better buckle down, and Jalen Ramsey better be on DK Metcalf wherever he goes. That Rams defense, like I said, they're pretty damn good, man. Like it's hard to say anything about them. They're pretty damn good all the way around. But like we were just talking about in the last game, like pressure Russell Wilson. I mean, Donald's going to have a big game. Floyd's going to have a big game. Or they're gonna have to come up big against Russell, but. The Seattle Russell, we've seen Russell at times this year kind of just disappeared in games too. So he's going to have to play a consistent 4 quarters. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, it's a third round divisional game. You know what I mean? This is part 3 of Seattle and LA. So, these teams know each other. It's going to be scrappy. I'm sure there's going to be some jawing going on. But I feel like the Rams are going to have to establish that run in order to have any shot to beat Seattle.
No, you're absolutely right. Steve, Goff is questionable, but I'm sure he's going to play. Like I don't see unless he can't hold on to the football. And there's not I don't like I said, I didn't pay attention to what was going on with Goff very closely. All I know is he's listed as questionable on the injury report. I would imagine that he's going to do everything in his power to be out in the football field today in a playoff game against your rivals, against the team that's pretty much. The Seahawks have been the cream of the crop in the West for a little while. I mean, it was the Niners for a little bit then, but it's most consistently been the Seattle Seahawks in this past, 10, 15 years, something like that. So, this is a big game for the Rams. It's a big game for Goff. This is a big game for Jared Goff. I would imagine he would do everything in his power to be out on the football field.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine. They might have who knows, some kind of like soft brace, or maybe even have him wearing a glove or something. Just on that thumb, just maybe give him a little added extra. But I know he's a guy. He doesn't really like to wear gloves. But it just depends. I mean, like you said, it's all going to depend on that surgery, or that thumb that he had. So it's going to be interesting to see. Because I'm with you. I mean, if they go with the backup quarterback, I think they're doing themselves a huge disservice. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where you start him and kind of see what he could do for your offense, and then if it's looking bad, then you got to bring Goff in. I mean, he's got to be able to go.
Yeah. The defense for the Seahawks, though, they're ranked towards the bottom. They've been doing a job better. They've been doing a better job. That's how they've been doing a better job at defense. Earlier in the season, they were just giving up astronomical numbers. It was very, very bad. Remember that Buffalo game? They got destroyed. That was one of the few times in the past decade I've seen the Seattle Seahawks get completely just dominated. But they've done better as of late. So it's going to be huge if they're able to stop the run, at least slow it down and not let anybody really get off, eat and get off. I think the Seahawks can take it. I really do. You have playmaking receivers. You have a decent to good running game. I think they have a decent to good running game. And obviously Russell's included in that. The Seahawks have a good shot at winning this game. I think the Rams are going to take it though. For one, I feel like the defense is good enough to match up with Seattle. The last meeting it was 20-9, but it was 20-9 late. Like they took that lead very late, in the game. If I recall correctly, I remember we covered it, but either way, the Rams were in the game. It wasn't like it was a blowout. So I expect the same thing to be here. But that Rams team can control the clock if they're able to, have success in the running game. And I feel like Seattle, if they're not able to do that, you're gonna see Goff or whoever's at quarterback try to stretch the field with their receivers. You have a Cooper Kupp that could, Cooper Kupp could go outside in the slot. You could put him wherever the hell you want, and he's gonna go ahead and make a play. And he's gonna make a play after the catch on top of it. So you're gonna have to sure things up in that run game, in order to be prepared. You want to be not guessing, but you want to be in a good rhythm, like as a defensive play caller. You want to be like, all right, I see how they're attacking us here. I see how they're attacking us there. Once you start recognizing the formations, you could kind of predict and set your defense up as such. But like I was saying with the running game, if they're able to run and just keep running, if they're finding success, now you're playing two sides of the ball. Now you're playing two things. Now you have to play the run, but now you're thinking in the back of your mind, pass. If you don't find success with that run, I think the Rams might be in trouble. But anyway, let's get to your game, dude. Let's get to your game, and then at the end of this, we're going to go ahead and give the scores for each game today. Bucks they're not at Washington. Washington football team they are at Washington. That's right. Yeah, Washington won a division. That's right. It's an away game. That's crazy. It's crazy to see 11-5 versus 7-9, and they're the away team.
Right.
With Tom Brady at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They're the away team. That blows my mind. But Tampa Bay versus Washington, 11-5 versus 7-9. Washington is no joke. I'll tell you that. Washington at 7-9 is dangerous, especially if you have Alex Smith back there and you're able to start running with Antonio Gibson. I think you have a very dangerous team, and I think the Buccaneers know that. Well, they should know that at least. Key for you guys, in my opinion, run the damn ball.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen. We got to be able to negate the rookie of the year, Chase Young. I mean, we have to be able to get. He's a terror, man. He's a terror, and that like I said, that Washington defense is no joke. McLaurin is it. I think he's questionable. He's still got that ankle thing, but I have no doubt in my mind that he will show up on the field. Logan Thomas is come out this year. He's had a big year this year. So, and with Alex Smith, he's just a game manager. That's what he does. He's not going to kill you 60 yards down the field. He's going to kill you with 6-yard passes 27 times. Mm-hmm. And then like I said, you get Gibson going behind that. And then, things can really start moving for them. Tampa is just going to have to execute. I mean, they're going to have to. That offense is, it started to come alive here the last couple of weeks. So, they're going to need big games from everybody. I mean, Godwin's going to have to come up huge. Evans is going to have to come up huge. AB is going to have to get involved. Gronk's going to have to get involved. And then, like you said, obviously, that run game, it's got to get going. And I don't look for that to happen with Leonard Fournette. I think it's going to be more Ronald Jones than anything. But Fournette will be in there. Fournette will be in there a couple times, but I'm looking for Rojo to take the most of the snaps.
I think it has to stay Ronald Jones.
Yeah, no, it has to. Fournette is.
I think you bring Fournette in once in a while, like very rarely in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean you can put them both. You can put them both back there just to have them, threats for catch a pass out of the backfield. But he runs like we saw Zeke was running in like week 6 when he just looked like I'm not really sure if I want to be here type of guy, and it's just like, he's going to have to understand. And I think Brady, that's the one good thing that Brady and Gronk are going to bring to this team right now. It's just like, look, we've been here 6 times, 10 times. We've been here forever. We live in the playoffs. So I think the team and Antonio Brown's got some good expertise in the playoffs. So, I think those 3 guys, they're gonna have to set this tone and like let these guys know. And like if Fournette can't get a fire lit under his ass and these guys can't do it, then Fournette doesn't ever want to do it. So we'll see. But I look for Tampa to win the game. And they're gonna have to attack downfield too, because they're gonna have to protect Tom. But the great matchup today is going to be 2 first-rounders. It's going to be Tristan Wirfs and Chase Young. I mean, that's going to be the battle everybody wants to watch, and we're going to have to see who gets the better of that battle.
Oh, part of me is all Chase Young. Part of me is all Chase Young, dude. I'll say that. Like, Ohio State breeds football players, but Chase Young is something else. Mm-hmm. Chase Young is something else. That dude is going to be I know he's going to be the best defensive player here in a few years. Like you could see it on him.
Yeah, he's a stud, man. He's got a high motor.
Hell of a lot. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It just froze up for a second.
Yeah, it went up a little bit. He could do a whole hell of a lot. And Rookie of the Year, I'm like, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing. There's some offensive rookies, but I'm like, man, Chase Young at least has an argument.
Yeah, no, I don't know if he's a defensive rookie or a complete Rookie of the Year, but I did see something where he got one of them. They had defensive, offensive, defense. I'm sorry, I don't know why I thought they had individual. They have split. Yeah, that's right. They're split. Offensive, defense. He'll win Defensive Rookie of the Year then. Yeah, easily. He's had a great year, man. I mean that Washington defense is. I mean, really, if you look at it, that Washington team in general is. I don't even know what the word is I want to use to describe it, but it's really. I mean, yeah, it's 7-9, and you're going to say, they should be getting their ass blown out, whatever. But you got to look at this team, and you got to say, Ron Rivera going through cancer treatment all year, Alex Smith coming back. I mean, he had 17 surgery. He was told he's never going to walk again, never going to play football again. They may have to amputate. I mean, like just the numerous hurdles that these guys have overcome, and then to put that kind of product on the field. Obviously the couple games that Smith couldn't go or whatever, and they had Haskins in was detrimental. But they got out with the division win. So, this Washington team is not they're not opposed to having to go through a little adversity. They've been doing it all season, and like I said, it starts at the top with Rivera, and what his story alone is amazing. So I mean, you got him and Alex Smith was a comeback player of the year this year too. So this team is can be formidable. Like that defense can wreak havoc. So it's going to be up to Tampa's offensive line to keep Tom standing upright. And then that run game is going to have to negate some of that speed on there, or else Tampa's in for a long day.
Man, I feel like this one's going to be the hardest decision.
Yeah.
Like, I know who you're picking. Like, I
right.
pick, your team in the playoffs. But part of me, I'm like, that one's, I mean, huge hurdles.
Yeah.
Like I said, from the name change to to people ridiculing the franchise, people ridiculing, and now Ron Rivera. And on top of that, like Dwayne Haskins, a guy that you brought in and you thought was honestly, Dwayne Haskins is young enough to where you can find success if there's change. Yeah, obviously there's a rift. Maybe he finds success right away. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I know all I know is this. Ron Rivera has those dudes playing. If he makes a decision like that, I'm going to go with what Ron says. You know what I mean? I'm going to go with what Ron says. Hopefully Dwayne Haskins finds another job and he finds success. I just don't – you knew there was trouble when he went back home. You know what I'm saying? And then you started seeing conflict between him and the new head coach, a head coach that's been to 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
Once as a coordinator or 3 Super Bowls, excuse me. Player, coordinator, coach, head coach, Ron Rivera. So I would feel taking that side is probably the smarter thing, in my opinion. But like you said, hurdles, nonsense. That probably hurt. That hurt. That hurt too. You drafted a guy from your area to be the leader of your franchise. You were expecting a lot more from that, and that's why it hurts. I feel like if Washington is going to do anything, I think they'll make noise whether they win or lose today. I think that the Washington football team is on the rise. And for me, I feel if Dwayne Haskins is the least of your problem, if that was the least of your problem, I think are the biggest problem. I think that you're in a very good spot because they have the entire locker room believing. And that's a dangerous thing for a lot of people. You can become a dangerous team if you have belief in that locker room and you have guys pulling for each other and doing their job. You can find success regardless of the talent. I mean, obviously you have to have talent, but it doesn't have to be overabundance of talent. You could beat with just good players who do their job. You could beat great teams. So I think that the Washington football team is possibly one of those teams that can sneak up on you and just knock your ass out when you're not looking.
Yeah, and I mean, you have a young defense, and tell me that being the team that could knock Tom Brady his chances of going to the Super Bowl out. I mean, that to me, that for a bunch of young guys, that's I think that could instill a lot of nastiness to just be like, hey, let's knock Tom out the playoffs. Like, he's been there way too much. Let's go. You know what I mean? And I think that alone will fire him up. I think Chase Young, to me, like I said, man, it's going to be that left tackle versus Chase Young. To me, that Tristan Wirfs. I think that's going to be a battle, man. I think that's going to be a battle. Tristan Wirfs is pretty good for a rookie. Obviously he's been protecting Tom's blind side all year, but man,
I remember you didn't even want Tristan Wirfs.
I really didn't at first, and then I was second guessing myself when he got suplexed by Khalil Mack. I was like, oh shit, what do we get here?
Mack one arm pressed his ass.
Yeah, right. So I was like, great, here we go. Now we got another. That I was thinking he's going to be our speed bump Leno. But yeah, no, it's gonna, to me, I think that's going to be a huge matchup. And like I said, just give this Washington team a little more opportunity, or put another little thing in their head that, like, hey, we can knock Tom Brady out. Plus, we've overcame all this stuff this season. Like, let's go. And man,
Chase Young did his best Clubber Lang impression this week with the I want Tom Brady, I want Balboa, I want
right.
How Chase Young was talking to the media this week. So, obviously it has to be in the back of Tom and everybody's head on that offensive side for Tampa Bay is to stop Chase Young.
Yeah.
He went full Clubber Lang. He went full Clubber Lang this week. I'm all about it. I'm like, get him, Chase. I'm like, do it. Like one time, just get him one time. Let me see if you can do it one time.
Yeah.
But it's fun to watch a team that I thought was dead. I thought was dying, be resurrected, and we pointed to what it was, and it was the change in culture that Ron Rivera has instilled. He's shown. I mean, you saw with Chuck Pagano too, with the Colts team, they rally when you've seen it a few times when coaches have cancer or have something tragic happen. Their team will rally if that coach is worth rallying around. And Ron Rivera is more than that.
Oh yeah,
he is a reflection of its head coach, and that the Washington football team, they're fighters. They're dogs.
Oh yeah, no, you're here. Yeah, no, they're like I said, this is obviously it's the biggest game of Chase Young's life so far. So, we'll see. Well, Tampa's going to have to, like you said, they're going to have to be able to run. And if they're not running, they better, we'll see how Wirfs is doing one-on-one. And then if Chase Young starts getting to Tom, they're going to have to put Gronk out there and double him or something. But yeah, I look for this game to be entertaining. Like I said, either way, Tampa's got a pretty good defense too. So I mean, let's not forget about that. They have a great front seven. Antoine Winfield has been coming on in the backfield in the back of the defense. So they've got a good defense too.
Damn, I wish Antoine Winfield. I wish he would have just fell a little. Don't pay.
Yeah.
I wish he would have fell, but
yeah, I mean, you guys got to see his dad play quite a bit. You guys played him twice a year every year, so
that's right.
I look for Tampa's defense to get to Alex Smith as well. That front line is going to have to be fierce. So they're going to have Sue getting up in there. They're going to have David and Devin White, Levante and Devin White. They're going to have big games too. Because first and foremost, we got to stop Gibson. You don't want him getting out there and starting to have a 100-yard, 150-yard game at all, because that's kind of how they go. I know McLaurin's going to play. I know he's got an ankle or whatever, but
hey, Terry tears it up. But Terry McLaurin is probably the best receiver in the that you don't know.
Yeah,
and the best receiver in the NFL that you don't know. Man, if he was on any other team, that you'd be talking about Terry McLaurin a lot.
Right.
But since he's on Washington, you don't really. He kind of gets buried under the rest of the league. But man, that dude can play some football. He can play receiver very well. I think he's. I don't know. I don't know who to compare him to. I'm trying to think of I don't know. Man, I can't. He's in a league of his own for me right now, because he just keeps doing things that are great. If he had a quarterback, they found a running game with Antonio. So if he had a quarterback, and I'm not saying that Alex Smith is a bad quarterback, but if he had a guy, if he had a guy,
right?
I think on there. Not that they're not up already, but if they get a guy, a quarterback, a franchise quarterback, I think Terry McLaurin can stretch the field a little further. I think he could take his game to the next level. Let's go ahead and get to our picks. We'll start with the first game, like we always do. We'll start with that Colts-Bills game. I'll go with you. Go ahead. You can start first, and then I'll finish up with my pick for that one.
Man, this might be for me the toughest one to pick. Man, I mean, I could see both of them winning, no problem. But I guess I'm going to go with the Buffalo. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Mafia. Man, but I'm going to make it close. I'm going to go 31-27 Buffalo.
31-27. And for me, I think the defense for the Bills are going to – I'm going to pick the Bills. I'm just flat out saying I think the defense is going to step up. I think they're going to be able to contain that running game. So I do see them getting scored on. I don't see them being dominant, but I do see their offense scoring a little more than we think. I'm going to go with 27 Buffalo, 17. Yeah, we'll go 27-17 Buffalo.
Interesting.
Yep, 27-17. I'll go with that one. I just think the Bills have. I think it's their time, man. I think Josh Allen's the truth. He's not Cam Newton, but name a quarterback that is his size, can fly and still have a cannon of an arm that can throw at a flick of a wrist 70
Right.
at a flick of a wrist, and then run your ass over on top of that. Like,
he's a special guy.
I'm not saying he's Cam, but you could compare the two physically at least. And we all know how much success Cam had. You know what I'm saying? During his Super Bowl run and early in his career. Right now, we don't know where he's going. Hopefully, he finds some success next year. Because, like I said, he's not a bad quarterback. It's just the Patriots weren't a good team this year. I think the Bills got it. So let's go ahead and jump over to the next game. Rams, Seahawks. I'm gonna go with the Rams in this one, and I'm gonna keep it close. I'm gonna keep it very close. I'm gonna keep it low scoring. I'm gonna go with the LA Rams 16 and the Seattle Seahawks 13. I think it's gonna be a field goal difference. I think that Rams running game just controls the clock. I think they're going to be able to just do enough offensively and let their defense slow down Russell Wilson and those receivers on the outside and the running back Chris Carson. I think they're going to be a defensive battle, especially if Goff can't go.
Yeah.
So, we'll see at that. I'll take the Rams in that one, 16-13.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams too. I just like that defense, man. And if Goff's playing at 80% or if he can't go, I trust that defense even more. But I am going to pick the Rams, and I think it's going to be due to pressure. And I think Russell Wilson throws a pick six, so I'm going to go 27-20 Rams. You're all froze up. There you go.
There it goes. It was back. Yeah, it keeps going in and out on me. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I didn't hear what you said, but yes.
I'm going Rams 27-20. I think just with their defense, and I think Russ throws a pick six under pressure.
Under pressure, okay. I can see that them bringing the pressure, or they're just generating pressure with the front line. Yeah, I can see that. All right, and then last but not least, Bucks Washington football team. I'll let you have the day. I'm going to go with the Bucks. 27 to I'll go 27-14. I don't think that Washington's going to be able to do enough offensively. I think that the defense is going to wear out sooner or later, and then you're going to see the offense for the Bucks kind of just be able to open it up at will. They do get to Tom Brady. I think they do get to Tom Brady a couple times, and they make it very close. But then, like I said, middle to late of the third into the fourth, I think that's when the Bucks are going to just take over, and they're going to be able, if they're able to run, they're going to be able to stretch the field as well, and just take the game.
Yeah, I think the Tampa Bay offense is gelling right now. I think they're coming through. I'm going to go with Tampa 34-17, and I think Antonio Brown has 2 touchdowns in this one.
Well, I think Antonio Brown's going to be a huge factor in the playoffs. I mean, throughout. Right,
exactly.
Huge factor. But don't get one-dimensional. We've seen what happens when Tampa gets one-dimensional.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be the key. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Be sure to stay on SportsZone Chicago and check out the Humidor Sports Podcast with the Smoke Fellas coming up next at 11 in 5 minutes or so. I got to jump over to produce that. So we're going to get out of here. Enjoy the games. Like I said, check out the Humidor Sports Podcast after this. So for Luke Nettles, I'm Ivan Vargas. You guys have been watching the Basement Monsters Game Day Podcast on SportsZone Chicago.
Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TIXBLITZ.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.